Hello everyone. In our previous session, we had started taking the overview of project management, wherein we had discussed some important aspects and elements of project management which have to be kept into consideration to meet the required parameters of any project and how we can make the project successful. We had discussed all those aspects, and today we will be continuing with the same overview. This is Dr. Swati Mishra from International School of Business Management at Suresh Gyan Vihar University, Jaipur. And the first thing that I want to discuss today is, you know, I just want to give you a brief sample of the Gantt charts and the other network diagrams that I had discussed with you yesterday as to why they are required when you want to plan your project properly so as to make your project highly successful. So this is an example of a Gantt chart wherein the work breakdown structure can be seen on the left, and each task's start date and the finish date are shown on the right using a calendar time scale. If you can see it on the right side here, where I am moving my marker pointer, right? So with this you can actually see, and these are the work breakdown structure, and each and every work package is mentioned over here one by one, and how much time will be required to complete each task, right from the starting date till the ending date is shown here. So from this you can actually just have a idea of what exactly is meant by a Gantt chart, right? So these Gantt charts are actually designed by the project teams by before they start their project, so as to make it clearly understandable by the project team as to when they are supposed to start any task and by what time they have to finish it. So they are clearly aware of the starting and ending dates of their particular activities which they are supposed to conduct, and how much time duration has been allotted to them for completing that activity. This is important, to make the project completion timely. If the Gantt charts are not prepared accurately, then timely delivery of the project is not possible. So I hope that you can understand the importance of Gantt charts through this. And this is the sample of a network diagram that I'm showing you here. Uh, each box in this network diagram is basically, a project task from the work breakdown structure. And, so each and every activity is shown in one particular box. So the arrows that you can see here, like from activity A to D, there is one arrow moving. Similarly, from activity B to E, you can see another two arrows which are going from B to E and B to F. Similarly, there is an activity C, and the arrow is directed from activity C to D. So A, B, and C are both the initiating activities. They do not have any predecessors. Like A is the predecessor of D, B is the predecessor of E and F, and C is the predecessor activity of G. But A, B, and C do not have any predecessors. If I say successor, successing activity is the activity which starts after the predecessor completes. So D succeeds A, E and F succeed B, G succeeds C, right? Similarly, after D and after E, both are completed, you start the activity H. And that is why the arrows from D and E are moving to H. Now, if I see that I hope you can see that after activity F, the last activity J is starting. J actually starts after activity H, F, and I are completed. Okay, so this is how the network diagram looks. The bolded tasks are actually on the critical path. You know, if you can see the bolded tasks, which are B, E, H, and J, the ones in the black boxes, the boxes with the black outline, they are forming the critical path. You know, critical path is the shortest path through which a particular activity can be completed. So, if any tasks on the critical path take longer than planned, the whole project which I will actually slip unless something is done. So, network diagrams, they have a long history. They were first used in 1958 on the Navy Polaris project before the project management software was actually developed and was made available to the project managers. So, ever since then, more than a century and a half, the network diagrams are in use by the different project teams for successful completion of the projects. And that is why these network diagrams are highly important and necessary. Okay. You can also see this is a very well developed network diagram, because in this network diagram, for each activity, they have shown the ID of the activity, like ID numbers are given, ID 1, 2, 3. Right inside the boxes, you can see the starting date and the finishing date is also given, and they have left space for writing the details of the resources that are required for each activity and from where they will be supplied. Right, so it is a very well organized and very well designed network diagram, as you can see on the screen. And whenever you want to develop any network diagram, you also have to prepare a similar kind of network diagram in future, right? We'll be studying the networking techniques also in this subject, wherein you'll be studying the critical path method, CPM, and the project evaluation and review techniques, which is called as PERT. So PERT and CPM are two very important techniques to be studied in project management. We'll be doing it in the further sessions when we move ahead. Since this is an introductory session, I'm just introducing you to all the concepts that you will be studying in project management. Now, this is a sample of Enterprise Project Management Tool, EPM, and this is showing a project portfolio of a company named ABC, where it is showing multiple projects that are undergoing under this company. There are some active projects, project 1, 2, 3, and 4. There are some projects which are only approved, right? And the dark circles are actually showing the progress of those projects, right? Which have major problems. Then the gray circles are actually showing the progress of the projects with some problems, and the white ones are the projects which are going absolutely fine, right? So this is an enterprise project management control tool. In past recent years, many organizations have taken advantage of multiple softwares to help manage their projects through the enterprise resource planning softwares also. And there are softwares which can actually analyze the progress of the projects and can easily uh, make the stakeholders and the users of that software, those who have the sharing rights of those software, they can become easily aware of what is the project of each and every, what is the progress of each and every project which is going on under that particular enterprise. So that is what EPM tool is doing. Okay. So if we talk about, this project management as a profession, uh, the job of IT project managers, you can say that it is in the list of the top 10 most demanding skills in IT sector. Why I'm sharing this information with you? The reason is that you should understand the importance of studying this subject. Yesterday also I had made you understand the career scopes of this subject, and today also I'm sharing a brief insight to it. So professional societies like the project management institutes, PMI, are growing tremendously throughout the nation, and we can see that in India there are multiple management schools which are offering project management education and project management full-time degree courses. So looking at the growing need of the project managers around the industries, we can see that more and more professionals are coming out of these institutes with the degree certificates of project managers, and they get very easily swallowed by some big multinational giants which keep on doing multiple different big projects, and where good projects are run. Similarly, if we talk about, project management research, that is also a very important area of research these days. And a lot of researchers are doing multiple different types of research studies under them, especially in the area of project management. There are some researching organizations also which conduct pilot studies and full-time researches also, for finding out that, if an organization takes up any particular project, how successful that project is going to be in the future. They also, do a comparative study of those projects with some projects which have been taken up by different organizations in the past, and they give fruitful results to those organizations, telling them the success ratio or success rate of that particular project, also telling them about the contingencies for which they should be ready with, and what kind of resources would be necessary in that project, what kind of tools would be required for the successful completion of the project, if any kind of special HR management policies would be required, then that is also explained in their researches. And there are multiple other certified programs also which are being offered by several big well known renowned institutes around the country, throughout the country. And these certification programs are actually the short duration programs. They are not degree certificates, but they are like course certificates of completion of that course studies during some particular time duration. Some distance learning institutes are also offering online certificate courses of project management. So, this is a small data that I had acquired. Although it is a very obsolete data, it's around the 2002, but even today, the jobs of project managers are highly in demand, especially in IT sectors and sectors like shipbuilding, or else, construction, marine, mining. In these types of organizations, project management jobs are highly in demand. Project management professionals are highly in demand. So, if you have this knowledge of project management, you know, you will get a job very easily. You should be sure of this. So, as I say, that the project management institutes, they keep organizing multiple conferences, and they keep coming up with different research studies. Hundreds of books have been published, hundreds of articles and presentations related to project management have been written and are continuing to be written by the some famous authors who are the experts in project management. So, with this, project management actually continues to grow and continues to mature in the world of knowledge dissipation. So, you can also think of some kinds of project management certificate courses also. They help you gather a lot of knowledge about project management certification, project management knowledge. And now I want to briefly discuss with you what are, you know, the ethical aspects of project management. Ethics is a highly important part of all the types of professions that we talk about, be it HR, be it marketing. We have studied ethics in marketing, we have studied ethics in marketing research, we have studied ethics in advertising. I'm just naming the subject courses of which there are video archives on YouTube, especially uploaded by myself, Dr. Swati Mishra. And, you know, I have spoken about ethics in all these areas. And similarly, if I say that, ethics are highly important in project management, it won't be anything surprising that I'm talking to you about. Why are these, ethics required in project management? The reason is that a lot of project managers keep meeting multiple types of ethical dilemmas on a daily basis, and they are always, uh, you know, standing on a two-way road as to which way to choose to actually make their project successful, or to handle some particular deal, or to tackle any kind of issue or controversy that has suddenly arose. So there are multiple such things that keep happening, and that is why an ethical code should be formulated right at the start of the project management, when the planning of the project is actually going on. And each and every project manager should be clearly aware of all those codes of ethics that are supposed to be followed by him, because unless a person is actually following those ethical codes, you cannot expect the project to be getting completed without any unethical task getting completed. Secondly, it multiple times it happens that the ethical codes keep varying from culture to culture, from religion to religion, from country to country. So whenever the projects are actually running in a cosmo environment, where people of multiple cultural backgrounds following different types of religions are actually functioning together as a team in that project, they might be having their own ethical codes that I do not consider this correct, or I just don't find it wrong. The same thing, you know, the same thing one might not find wrong, which other person is actually finding highly unethical. So that is why the project manager has to develop its own ethical code of conduct, keeping in view the correct means and policies to be actually acquired, which do not harm any single stakeholder or the team member of that project, and of course the society at a large. Because each and every project is actually conducted in a particular environment, within a particular society, or a or a geographical area, and that project in one way or the other, every project rather I should say, in one way or the other directly impacts the lives of the people who are living around it and society at a large. So that is why, whenever you are planning a project, you have to make it understandable, and you have to design a code of conduct to make each and every team member aware of the do's and don'ts within the project, so that whatever action you are taking in your project is actually beneficial to the society at a large. It should not happen that whatever actions you are taking in your project are not actually supporting the society or are not beneficial to the stakeholders of the project and the customers or consumers of the project. So this is about the ethics in project management. you know of course, as I've been saying, when I was showing you the scientific methods of timely completion of the project, and making sure that the project is completed efficiently and effectively, I, at the start of this session, had shown you uh, Gantt charts, network diagrams, and the softwares related to project management planning. So there are multiple project management softwares which are available, and in fact, by 2003, there were already hundreds of different products of this project management softwares which were there to assist in performing a project and managing the project. So there are multiple types of tools that still exist and are being used very heavily for managing every activity and tasks in the project that is getting conducted. So if I talk about the low end tools, they handle single or very small projects very well. Of course, these types of softwares cannot handle more than one project, and very huge projects also they cannot handle. They handle a very small range of projects, and they are available for a costing of around $200 per user. Similarly, there are some mid-range tools also. These mid-range tools actually handle multiple projects at a time, and they can be made available to multiple users at a time also. And the benefit of using this mid-range tools is that for the some medium scale and on small scale organizations, you know when more than one to up till maybe 10 to 15 projects are functioning at a time. I think 10 to 15 is also too much to talk about, but maybe 7 8 projects are running at a time. uh, it becomes, and they are not of a very huge size, then it becomes very easy to handle those projects through mid-range tools that are available. Like, for example, there is a software named Project 2000, which is one of the most popular softwares in this type of range of the tools. Similarly, and these tools are actually available for another 200. They are a bit expensive than the low end tools, but not extremely expensive. So these type of tools can be made available to the organization uh, within the range of $200 to $500, right? So now we come to the last type of project management software tool, which is actually known as the high end tool. It is also called as enterprise project management software, and they are actually managing each and every function of the enterprise, and along with all the different big and small projects of the enterprise. And they can handle multiple projects, multiple huge projects at a time. And there are some good enterprise project management softwares which can be easily used to handle such type of high end enterprise projects which are requiring excessive budgets, excessive capital investment, excessive number of human resources are employed in those projects. And of course the projects have huge breakdown structures to be studied. It's not like a small one project with a very small little network diagram and small little work breakdown structure, but rather some huge projects have multiple different work breakdown structures. And even the software project 2002 includes a separate version of enterprise project management for this very purpose only. So now we come to the next topic of project management, wherein we will be talking about the practical application of project management, especially in different areas. Now, you all have to understand that project management in itself is a very practical oriented subject, as you can see. So, in this subject, directly the practical applications of the processes and procedures which were actually designed at the time of implementation of the project under the work breakdown structures. So one has to understand that project management basically applies to work as well as to personal projects also, right? Which means that if someone is having a personal project, like maybe he or she is constructing a house, in that case also project management software and project management tool can be really helpful. Whereas in case of any kind of multinational company, or and even if not multinational but a medium scale company is there, it becomes very easy for that particular project manager to apply the ideas and ideologies to many different disciplines through project management. And for this, IT, construction, finance, sports, event planning, etc., are actually using this type of high end, the mid range tools and the high end tools. So now that we are talking about the practical applications of project management to multiple different areas of project management, it is highly important for us to understand that where we can apply this project management, right? Like I have told you that there are different softwares through which you can actually apply the knowledge of the project management softwares to the actual project which is running, actual implementation of the project. So you can actually apply this project management to many areas. And that is what we will be discussing now onwards. So I was saying that this these project management softwares, they can be actually applied to the multiple organizations, and project management as a whole as a complete discipline, that can also be applied to many areas. Like, of course, IT firms are always working on multiple different projects, and they require the knowledge of project management, and the project managers all the time to manage their projects properly. That is highly necessary, because unless there are some learned experts who are applying the knowledge of project management to these projects which are being handled by different big organizations, then the accuracy of work does not come in, the coordination between the different tasks and jobs does not come in. That coordination of tasks cannot be achieved very easily. Similarly, in case of construction business, there are some organizations which are constantly doing major constructions, and in that case, project management is highly important. So these construction firms keep using project management, and the ideas and concepts of project management, the scientific methods and methodologies in project management are constantly applied to the the projects which are undertaken by organizations which are into construction business especially. And similarly, the finance companies also need project management. The sports teams, they require project management a lot, because through all these different scientific techniques, they can design their strategies, their game strategies, as to how they are going to play in the next match. So there are multiple theories that you're going to learn in project management, which are also applied by the sports teams and their captains and their coaches to make some good strategies to win in the events, in the sports activities. Similarly, in case of event management, which is one latest type of what should I say, profession that has come in, and there are a lot of event planners and multiple events that are happening these days. We can see in the past 1 decade or so, in fact 1.5 decade, I should say, 2005, post 2005, this event management is one stream which has evolved and has you know developed very fast. And the kind of events that we see now are totally different from what was experienced earlier. The extravaganza and the kind of planning that is depicted in these events is tremendous. And every big event, like I don't know how many of you actually saw the opening or the inaugural ceremony of Olympics, which was held in China. If any one of you had actually witnessed that inaugural of Olympics in China, please raise your hands how many actually saw it. And if you have not, then I would request you that if any of the recordings of that event are available on YouTube, then please just witness it. It is one such huge event that was carried out, and the inaugural in itself was so larger than life and so mesmerizing, and it actually looks so well planned. So, whenever Olympics or any such big sporting event like Commonwealth Games and other such big events are held in any country, lot of planning and lot of project management techniques, implementation, actual application of project management techniques is required there. And that is how we actually witness some really huge and successful events happening in those countries. Olympics in China was such one example. Similarly, FIFA is another example. IPL is another example. So there are multiple such examples of, and then Cricket World Cup. I shouldn't forget naming Cricket World Cup. So I'm sure that there might be a lot of viewers right now who are keenly interested in these events, and you can actually relate to the fact that the efforts that are put in by the organizers in this event are really very tremendous, and the kind of planning that is required in the successful implementation of these projects is very huge. And that is why project management becomes one such very important stream which is necessary to be actually implemented in these areas, like construction, IT, finance, sports, event planning, marines, any kind of space research projects. Everything requires tremendous amount of project management and project management planning. So, and apart from this, of course, project management skills, the one any person who has acquired project management skills, he or she becomes very skilled in handling tasks and targets in their everyday life also. Like whenever you are at job, you actually know how to plan your work schedules, you know how to prioritize your things, how to network your activities, that how I'm going to move about one by one so that I can complete my work or my targeted job on time. So that is why project management becomes a very integral part of lot of organizations and lot of uh, professional activities and practices that are being carried out round the clock throughout the world. And that is why project management skills actually make every person highly effective and efficient while carrying out any task. So, with this, I have actually spoken to you about, you know, the importance of project management for different organizations, for any manager as an individual, and of course for the team as a whole, so that they can, plan their activities very well, they can plan their resources very well, and they can actually think of doing timely completion of their projects. So let us just have a quick overlook of what all we have spoken about today, because I have spoken to you about various diverse topics as an overview in today's session, as an overview of project management in today's session. I started this session with the discussion of the different types of project management techniques through using Gantt charts, network diagrams, then the sample of enterprise project management tool I had shown you. Then I discussed project management as a profession also. And, I told you that it is one of the top 10 demanded skills. And I told you how you can not only join some good degree courses in project management, uh, sometimes people go for post graduations in project management also, like by joining MBA in project management. There are multiple you know conferences which are being organized on these topics, and I told you that a lot of literature has been written on these topics, researches are being carried out on project management. and there is a lot of demand for certified professionals in project management in all the organizations, especially production organizations that we see. And project management is equally, in fact, important in service sector also. Then I spoke to you about ethics in project management, why project management manager needs to follow ethical code of conduct, and why an organization needs to, develop ethical code of conduct while carrying out any project under its guidance or under its sponsorship. After that, we discussed a bit about the softwares that are available for project management, and how you can apply project management to different professional areas, and how project management is actually useful in your day to day life. So, with this, we have come to the conclusion of today's session. There are a few more sessions left in completing the first unit. Maybe I would require only two more sessions to complete this unit. And then we will be done with the introductory part of the project management. And slowly and steadily, instead of being in a haste, we will be covering the rest of the units of project management. Do not worry, project management is a very important and interesting subject to be studied, and the learners will benefit a lot out of this subject that they have taken up. And you know this is a very advantageous subject actually, when we talk about you know whether a person's orientation is towards seeking a job, or maybe only for growth in the job. So that is why, I chose to take the sessions of project management, it being one of the most important subjects of management. It is a core subject of management actually, because project management is one subject which is taught to as a general subject in the first year of uh, first year or maybe second year of degree courses, and it is studied by the students of all the streams, in fact. And you know that is why project management becomes such a highly important subject or course to be studied by all the managers. And I've already told you it is really in a lot of demand, and there are vacancies for project management professionals in all the types of different uh, you know industries, whether belonging to the production sector or whether belonging to the service sector. So with this, we have come to an end of today's session. That is all from my side for today. Thank you so much for joining this session. This is Dr. Swati Mishra from International School of Business Management at Suresh Gyanviar University, Jaipur, signing off. Thank you and have a nice day.